Good evening, gentlemen. Here is a list of all the baddies I was able to comfortably talk to in high school. It's empty, and it wasn't just the women, it was the guys, it was the teachers. I was just awkward for no logical reason. And now I've gotten to the point where I still get a little bit scared, I'm not perfect, but I can go up to pretty much anyone and start a pretty good conversation with them. Here's how, 3 ways. First one, zoom out and look at yourself for a second. Just enter the astral plane for a second like the Hulk. It's not resolving the overthinking, it's stopping the overthinking by just bringing yourself to the present and really just looking at yourself like, damn, what am I really thinking about here? You're immediately going to realize how stupid your overthinking is, and you're going to feel a lot better. This needs to become a very strong habit, and that means you can't just do it when it's important. If you're actually about to go and talk to the baddie, you're not going to remember to do this. And so you have to practice. When do you practice? Go outside, do something that's a little bit scary, such as go outside wearing a little bit of a silly outfit, go outside wearing a suit, you know, get suited up and go outside, walk along. There'll be people like looking at you maybe, and you just practice releasing the overthinking thoughts. Second thing, don't pedestalize people. This is not a conscious thing. This doesn't just apply to baddies, by the way. It applies to everyone. It applies to your own family sometimes. But when you see a baddie, the fact that the first word that comes to mind to describe them is a baddie probably means you're pedestalizing them a little bit. And you know, like maybe they are better looking than you or whatever, but treating them as better is going to reduce your confidence. That's going to reduce your perceived value, which, like, I don't mean to be a red pillar, but if you see someone who is not confident, and confidence is a trait that we all like, then you're going to judge this person a little bit as at the very least not having a trait that you like. So you don't want to do that if possible. And when you have lower confidence, that's also going to reduce your conversation quality. You're not going to be able to have good conversations if you're putting them on a pedestal. So who cares if they're above you, below you, whatever. Maybe they are above you. It doesn't really matter. You just treat them as if they are on your level. How do you do that? You treat them as a human being who has the same thoughts as you. If you're thinking about going up to someone, they have the exact same thoughts. Because we hide all the thoughts, the overthinking thoughts, and so we see everyone else is not having this stuff, and just realizing that other people have this and remembering that is a good way to make them feel more human and more on your level. You can also do this by writing down, like at home, a list of things you have in common with this person. This is going to be helpful as well because it's conversation topics right there. You can also write down, like really break down why they're above you. Like, is there any actual good reason why they are? If you say like attractiveness, break that down further. Why does attractiveness matter? Why is someone who's born more attractive like higher value than me? That's regardless of whether it actually is or isn't. You just break it down until you figure out, as a whole, are they actually higher value than me? Or can I go and talk to them fine? And even if they are higher value, like, you can still go and talk to them and make them have a fun conversation. And you also need to stop watching porn because it makes you pedestalize baddies. If you've never whipped out the book and just started writing stuff down about like your thoughts, this is going to feel really weird. But once you actually start doing it, it'll be fine. So please just like set like a 2-minute timer and just start doing it. Do it for 2 minutes, commit to that, please. And then if you still don't like it, you can stop, but just do 2 minutes and maybe you'll like it. Because it's pretty important to be able to do that stuff. I'm back from the function, may have forgotten where exactly I was up to, so let's go on to the third point. When you are trying to talk to the baddies at the function, make their day. You don't need to talk to them for your own gain. Obviously you are going to gain, and you shouldn't talk to everyone just for their own gain. You should do it for your gain, but thinking of it as how can I really help them get the most out of this is going to allow you to get your gain better. It's just like how to win friends and influence people. The entire book is basically just saying, be good to other people, put them first, and then you'll get what you want in return. Let's actually break that down though, because just saying, oh, do what, it's good for the other person, you'll get it all in returns. How do you get it all in return? Well, it improves your focus. When you're focused on the other person, you are not thinking about your overthinking, your anxiety. If you're not getting signals that like they're being really dry, they don't want to talk to you, then don't let your anxiety stop you from continuing to talk to them. And the way that you don't let your anxiety stop you is by making their day. Just be focused on them. a good way to balance focusing on them versus focusing on yourself still. And like this stuff that you do have to actually check. You do have to think like, do they want to talk to me right now, or should I like go away? The way to do that is to assess it less often. Instead of constantly thinking every 5 seconds or after every time you say something, did they like that? You can just check in once a minute, once every 5 minutes, depending on what it is. So you just check in less often. And when you think of yourself, like when you get drawn back to your anxiety, before that, you just throw, no, not thinking about that yet. And you just draw your attention back to making the conversation good and everything. Obviously, as well, this is going to improve your conversation quality. And finally, this is going to help with not pedestalizing people. If you genuinely want what's best for them in a way, where you're again still focused on yourself a little bit, you're not going to go up to them and try and like rizz them up or anything. You're not going to be desperate. You're going to treat them as someone who just wants to have a good conversation because they're the same as you. They just want to have a good conversation too. Sure, not everyone is like the nicest person. I'm not saying that they will necessarily be open to a conversation, but treating it like they will be, you're going to give yourself the best chance. And if they're not, then you go away. But you don't go away before the conversation's even started. Maybe even they won't be open to it at first, but then when you go up and talk to them with confidence, you put them first, you don't pedestalize them, and yeah, you actually go and do it, they will change their mind about you. So, bro, you got this. Go get them. Go get them baddies. Go get whoever it is you want to talk to. I've been spamming all of this stuff. I will continue to spam it. By the way, you want to know a very quick other tip? Imagine the consequences. So instead of just like for the discipline of going up and doing it or saying the thing, amplify the consequences to like, if you don't do this thing 20 times, or like if you don't do it for a year, you're going to become a not very good person. You're going to be more awkward and stuff. Whereas if you do it, if you make a habit out of it, you're going to become a more charismatic person. Now you're linking it to the importance of who you're going to become in the future and your whole life, rather than just this very instance, which isn't very important. That was a quick bonus tip. Now, anyway, do those 3 things and you got this, bro. Go get her, or go get him, go get them. See you next time.